What's going on, guys? I'm Oliver. So glad you're here. This video is for you guys who are about to embark on this beautiful journey. You're going to university, you're leaving your friends behind, you're probably moving out, you're probably going to another city. It's an exciting time, but it's actually quite nerve-wracking as well. You're entering this new environment and you need to try and navigate it. And a lot of people are saying, oh, make the most of it. University is the best time of your life. And that puts a little bit of pressure on. So what I've done is I've thought about what would have made my university experience better. And I've also asked a lot of my friends who went to university up and down the country what they think as well. I loved university, but I do have regrets. I think I did it quite well, but I still think I unlocked about 40% of its potential. So I'm going to tell you how I think you can unlock all of it. Number one, learn to study smart, not hard. This is all about efficiency, consistency. I think the easiest way to do this is to develop a study habit in your first year, not your second year, not your third year, your first year. And you may be saying, oh, that's a bit boring. First year doesn't count. You only need to get 40%. And I agree with you. In fact, you could probably get away with not really learning the content that well and just cramming and passing first year. But I would strongly recommend not to do that. This might be the first time that you're on your own and you haven't got your teachers or your parents to push you. You need to find some discipline and you need to get into a routine early. There is a reason why people who scrape through first year don't generally do well in their degree, and it's not about intelligence, it's about consistency. You need to hold yourself accountable right from the start in order for you to do well. I know multiple people who have got caught up in the hedonism of uni and they fell behind and they just can't make it up and they miss out on a 2-1. And it's not the end of the world if you don't get a 2-1, although it does make life a little bit easier just straight after university to get into grad jobs. But it's not really about just getting a grade for the grade's sake. It's about setting yourself up to get the most out of university and life, really. When you develop a daily study habit, you actually enjoy going out, you actually enjoy socializing a lot more. If you're really behind, you can't really enjoy that night out. But if you study a little bit every day, you've got discipline, you don't miss a day. If you miss a day, you get it back on the weekend. And I don't mean just writing out lectures. It's got to be stuff that actually gets the information into your brain and makes it stick. So spaced repetition and memory recall and techniques like that. Once you establish that, then you can really enjoy letting loose. You can truly release and relax. Often the way courses work is you build on the principles year on year. So you're not going to have to learn that again. Remember, being organized, being independent, concentrating, it's a muscle, it's a skill. You develop that and you get better and better the more you do it. Try to develop that skill before your final year, little by little. And then when you get to final year, you'll be in the zone then. You'll know how to switch off from the rest of the world and get into a flow state. And that's a really, really important skill to have for life. So if you get that down in university, wow. Number two, the yes rule. Prioritize seeing people. If someone invites you somewhere, say yes. But when you're not socializing, your default mode should be studying or self-development. In first year especially, you should be saying yes to everything. Casting the net wide. Do you want to go to a party? Yes. Do you want to go out? Yes. Do you want to go for a coffee? Yes, 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 yes. Basically, you should never be on your own in your room watching Netflix or on TikTok. In fact, unless you're growing a business on social media, you shouldn't really be on social media at all. Got the biggest natural, real social experience right in front of you. Of course, you need some downtime, and if you really just want to escape from everyone and watch a film, of course you do that. Remember, you're still a baby when you go to university. You're finding yourself, you're learning who you are. I would say try to be really active in this self-knowledge journey. You choose your home friends when you're really young. It can be in junior school, but you change so much from when you're young up until 18, and university is a time to find new friends that align with the new you. You might have changed so much. You know, if you're an introvert, if you like gaming, try to meet people who also like gaming. Don't just sit in your room and game. You know, there could be a society for gaming. You could meet like-minded people, and that's what's beautiful about university. It's a big melting pot of so many unique and interesting people. Number three, use the time, freedom, and resources you have. There may never be a time again where you have such a perfect combination of freedom and opportunity. So get involved in anything that interests you. Don't treat uni as just some kind of rite of passage. It's not all about getting pissed and taking drugs. Of course, that's a part of it, and you should allow yourself to do that and to go to raves and to stay up until 5 a.m, watch the sunset. Those are the moments you'll remember. But if you look back on uni and it's just a 3-year bender, I think you've missed out. Here are my suggestions. Join a society society and stick with it. A rule of thumb is if you go to the first 3 sessions and you really enjoy it, then make a commitment there and then to stick with it for 6 months. Build it into your schedule, don't miss a session, and that way you truly get something from the experience. You know, you develop a skill or you make friends or both. I did too many things sporadically. I did some Muay Thai, boxing, I did running, table tennis for a time, I did tennis, Buddhist society. I did too much and I didn't stick with any of them. And boxing specifically, you know, I had the talent to do varsity boxing and I just was never consistent with it. I didn't go to that many sessions. Maybe I didn't want to sacrifice, you know, from Christmas onwards, you probably need to knock out that much and train hard if you want to do well in the fight. Maybe going out was too important to me and I really regret that, because in 3rd year I was studying quite hard anyway. I could have easily done it. I could have built that into my schedule. And this goes in line with, you can do more if you have developed a consistent study habit from your 1st year and you're upping it as the years go on. You can fit so much in. Find a way to stay in the loop about what's happening. Charities, protests, guest speakers, really be in the know and try and get involved with the community in your university. Go to a lecture that's nothing to do with your course. Join a gym. If you've always wanted to get in shape, uni is a perfect time to do that. You may be thinking this is a lot. And a really important one that gets overlooked is use the resources that's available to you. I didn't actually think of this one. My friend Daniel Sefton gave me this one and it made me think there was so much that I didn't take advantage of. Tutors, use tutors, ask them as many questions as you can. It doesn't have to be about your course, it can be about life, it can be about jobs. I spoke to my biomed tutor about a girl I was seeing and complications there. We forget that university is one of the biggest transactions we'll ever make in our lives. We're spending a lot of money. Try and get as much as you can for your money, right? Try to see value on what's on offer and use it. If you're suffering with a bit of depression or anxiety or mental health, you can use services. You can get CBT for discounted prices, all this. For me, a big regret was there was a way of renting tech in my university. You could get a brilliant camera, SD card, use their Mac to edit on, and I just didn't think about using it for myself. I don't know why, but anyone can take it out, anyone can rent it. You don't even have to pay for it. I could have started this YouTube channel in university. I didn't have the equipment then, I didn't have the money, I was a student, right? But there's so much on offer. Try and dig in and really research what's on offer, because you could be missing out on something really good. If you want to vlog university, if you're in University of Sheffield, there's a renting service for tech, so go use it. Number 4, owning who you are is the most powerful thing you can do. This one you can come back to at any stage of life, but it's really important as you're getting to know yourself in university. Don't shy away from what makes you you. Please don't worry if you don't make friends straight away, and don't try and change yourself just to fit in, because it can take months. It's very common to not find your friends straight away at university. So don't worry, relax, be yourself, be authentically yourself, and the people that will truly align with your personality will then gravitate to you. If you continually try to be someone you're not, then you're going to be attracting the wrong type of people, and then you might not ever make friends, right? Number 5, this is kind of the opposite of 4. But don't be afraid to reinvent yourself at university as well. You don't have to let who you were at school define you in university. You can wipe the slate clean. If you hated school, you didn't get on with anyone, you wanted to escape, you've escaped, right? You're in a different place, you're with different people, and you can reinvent yourself. You can be the person you want to be. You know, if you're fundamentally changing yourself and it doesn't feel right, you're doing it to fit in, that's a different thing. But if you couldn't be who you were in school and you really want to be that person, it's dying to get out, this is the time to do it. Say you're a boy and you like to paint your nails and everyone would have taken the piss out of you. You can do it in university, I promise you. There's going to be people who dig that. People are more open-minded and more accepting, I felt. So yeah, you can be who you want to be, baby. Number 6, listen first and be open-minded. Try not to be dogmatic or headstrong. You know, I thought about this, I really believe in this, I've done a lot of research and this is my opinion, that's it. You know, try to be open-minded, and there's lots of intelligent people. Try and learn from them and try to challenge your own beliefs and assumptions. Number 7, it's never too late to make new friends. If you found a clique in first year and it aligned with how you wanted to live in that year, which is going out and boozing or whatever, but they just want to do that for 3 years and you've kind of grown out of that, you can find new friends. Remember, you want to build relationships with people who align with your values, not just people who kind of suit your current mood. You want to find people who are maybe going to be a presence in your life forever. Have the courage to go and speak to someone. Some ways to do that, this is just off the top of my head. Comment on what someone's wearing. Oh, I really like your hat. Oh, I love those. I wanted to get those trainers, but I couldn't find them. What are you reading? Oh, I really like whoever. Sally Rooney. If there's ever a time to do it, ever, it's uni, because you can bond just by being in the same university. Don't be scared. Just try it. If they don't want to speak to you, it's fine. Number 8, this is so important. You can always change course or drop out. Please don't do 3 years of a degree that you don't want to do. Ask yourself in first year, is this really what I want to do? And if it's not, think about what else you can do. There's usually like a 4 to 6 week window in first year where you can change. If it gets later on, if you're into first year, and you're really not enjoying it, I would honestly say switch after first year. Also, I have to say it, this is your life. It's not your parents' life. If you know in your heart that I'm not into this, you should change. Don't think about external pressures. Oh, my parents' dream is that I got into medicine. I've got into medicine. Is it your dream? Do you actually want to be a doctor? Do you want to work really late nights? Do you want to spend another 4 years studying this and then the rest of your life in the practice? If you don't, then don't just think about what's right for all the people around you and what people have sacrificed. You've got to be a little bit selfish. Now, people are going to hate me for this. This is your life. If you really are passionate and you think you're passionate about another topic and you're really hating this course, you should change. If you do a vocational subject that you're really not interested in, it's just a waste of life, because you'll get to a point where you're wiser and you have the courage to change later in life, and you'll have to retrain, and it's just going to be an absolute mess. And you may be saying, like, how do I change? Well, say, like, if you've got topics at A-levels or translate, you know, if you're in a science degree and you want to go into economics or something, you know, you might have maths. So just email the lecturers and show an understanding of the topic, show that you're interested in it, send an email and say, I really want to do your topic. What do I need to do in this year to get onto your course? Number 9, start a business or a side project. Don't kid yourself into thinking you haven't got the time to do this. You have more time in university than you'll probably ever have in your life. Start a clothing brand, start a little e-commerce business, start a YouTube channel, you know, or a blog or a podcast. People are interested in the uni experience. Vlog the experience. I would say you'll never regret starting a business, because even if it doesn't work out, that is the best thing on your CV you can have. That's better than any work experience to say you started a business at university. That will look so good. Number 10, try not to stress too much. I know I've mentioned a lot of things here. I don't want you to put too much pressure on yourself, like I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Obviously, the fundamental things is to study and to have fun. Talking about stress, I think uni is a good time to start learning how to look after your mental health. Sometimes you can just, when you're at home, you can just lean on your parents, or you can lean on people that you're close to, your true friends that you had for a long time. In university, that gets stripped away a little bit. So it's a good time then to think about, how else can I deal with this? This independence, it can be, you know, it can hit you at 100 miles an hour at points. You can feel alone, you can feel lonely. And it's a good time to start meditating, start journaling. If you get anxious, if you get down sometimes, how to manage that. Because there's going to be times in later life where you're going to feel the same way, but it's going to be more intense. You're going to be in a city all alone. Try to remember that uni has the potential to be the least stressful part of your life. Number 11, carve your own path. If you take too much advice on, it cancels to zero. What works for me, what works for my friends, may not work for you. You've got to carve your own path. You've got to iterate. If something isn't working, try something new until something does work. So that's it. I'm just going to give you some honourable mentions as well. Always buy your round. I think this is a brilliant one, but to be honest, tightest people I've ever met in my life have all been at university. See them buy like 6 pints for themselves, and then I bought this guy a pint, and then he was like, I'm not going to buy you the pint you want because it's 30p more. For me, if someone like makes sure to, you know, spend their last fiver on someone else, or I notice those things, other people might not. Another one, find time for reading. Most people don't read at uni, but if you find time to read, it will pay off almost immediately. When you read fiction, you get more empathy. When you get more empathy, you get more social intelligence. When you get more social intelligence, you make more connections and friends. Always ask questions, even if you have to answer them yourself. Start looking at past papers early to get a feel for what you need to know. Those last 2 are from Jotty B. And that's it, guys. There's a lot there. There's a lot of information to sift through. See what works for you. I think maybe the most important one is probably the second one, which is prioritize seeing people and meeting people and socializing. But when you're not doing that, if you've got time alone, get a bit of studying in, get a bit of revision in, stay on top of your work. And I think that's a really, really good all-together one for university. That is it for me for now. Hope it's helped someone, anyone. And yeah, thanks for being here again. Peace.